Good evening and welcome to Urban Facts. It is 7 p.m., June 6th, 2024, and I'm your host, Ambrielle Parker.
And I'm Eamon Hotep. And today we'll be talking about
Today we'll be talking about
high school before and after. We was just kind of sharing the title. We so excited to do it. So, the last time we were here, it was April, so we've been on a little break. You could tell because we're a little rusty. So, as Ambrielle said, we'll be talking about high school before and after. And the reason for this is because we want to help students to prepare going into high school and coming out. So we're going to jump right into it. So let me pull up this information here. Share screen here. So, all right. So this is the first thing that we're saying that you would need to do to prepare for high school is learn the school. Excuse me. You learn the school from the school you choose. So if you chose Overbrook Central or Masterman or whatever, you have to go to the orientation. The orientation is going to give you the information about the school, the history, what to expect, and maybe a tour of the school, so on and so forth. So you definitely want to learn about the school. So let's get to number two. Number two. Bree, read what number two is.
Number two says challenge yourself.
Right. So you want to challenge yourself. You want to know the classes that you're picking. So don't just pick easy classes because they're easy. I mean, that's the easiest thing that the kids normally do. They'll pick the classes because they're easy to, they think they may be easy to pass. But you want to pick something that's a little challenging. Hold on, I took her off of here. Hold on here. I told you we was a little rusty. Let's see how we get all this back. Oh, there you go right there. All right, so let's go with number three. Ambrielle, read number three.
Hold on. Classes of your interest.
Right. So you want to pick classes that you're interested in. So let me make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see it. Excuse me. So in the college, freshmen are usually limited to choosing to their class choice, I would say, than what the upperclassmen may be accustomed to or may have. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that freshmen may not have as many options as choosing as many classes as the upperclassmen would. So choose the classes of your interest. If you already have a career choice planned out, then some of your classes should be in alignment with that. So choose the classes of your interest. So let's go to number four here. What's number four?
Get organized.
Right. So getting organized. You want to get a planner. You put all your information inside of the planner and, you put your important projects in there, like when tests are, class projects, trips or whatever like that, your study time. You just want to be as organized as possible. And this is definitely going to be a different experience than middle school. So, get organized, get yourself a planner. So we're going to go to the next one here. Number five. What's number five?
Connect with your upperclassmen.
Right. So number 5, this is preparing for high school. So at number 5, you already at your school. So some schools pair freshmen and seniors. So that's called shadowing. So the freshmen will shadow the seniors so they can get a feel of the school. Excuse me. And this is just to get them more comfortable with the classes, what's going on around at the school, things like that. It also helps them to establish established friends in upper classes. So that's very important. So here we go. Number 6. What's number 6?
Stay true to your values.
Right. So staying true to your values. Let's focus on that for a little bit. So students may face pressure to fit in to a certain mold in high school. And that's just normal. Because in high school, you want to kind of get the sense that, you're not you're not popular or something like that. Like you fitting in with the crowd or whatever like that. But see, sometimes, that crowd may not be the crowd that you want to, join with or connect with. So you got to stay true to your values as a person and stay focused on your whole purpose into going into high school. So don't be so fast to try to get a whole bunch of friends and things like that because you just want to stay true to the main focus. And that's getting good grades, preparing for college, because by the time 10th grade get around, we're going to get to that. That's when your college preparation starts in 10th grade. So now we're going to go to the next one. What's number 7?
Connect with others through activities.
Right. So you want to connect with others through activities. So either be sports, after school chess, whatever the school may be offering for you to connect with. So high schools offer a number of activities throughout the year, including sports, like I said, concerts, plays, pep rallies. Attend these activities as you can because it's going to help you to build up your peer group. And it's just going to familiarize you with the people that's already at the school. So, I mean, you may be new, but you don't necessarily have to be like unheard of, So I'm not saying go to every event because you're still going to need time to study. You're still going to need time to try to make classes. And if you're in activities yourself, you're going to need time for practice for your own activities. So basically what we're saying is just, just stay kind of active in regards to what's happening with school functions. Now, like I said, you don't have to attend all of them, but, try to make, some of them. So let's go to our next one here. All right, so what's number 8? All right, so number 8 is build relationships with teachers and staff. So that's very important. Let me blow this up so you guys can see. So students are generally in a hurry to leave the classroom, but instead take time after the class to get to know your teachers and the counselors. You definitely want to get to know these counselors because these are the people that's going to help you to prepare you for college. And so are the teachers, because the teachers are going to tell you like what type of grades you getting, or if you qualify for certain schools based on your grades. But see, you don't want to do that, based on, hold on, where the embryo go right here. Hold on. It's a stage there right there. So you don't want to do that based on just you trying to leave early. So let me just make this clear again. So build relationships with the teachers and the staff. Now, you don't necessarily have to have a relationship with the maintenance man. I'm not saying that. You don't necessarily have to have a relationship with the school secretary. We're not saying that either. What I'm saying is that you want to build a relationship with the teachers and the counselors and other individuals that's going to help you along the way and preparing you for college. So that's very important in this your journey in high school. So we're gonna go to the next one here. Hold on, I gotta put this screen back up. So number 10, what's number 10? Ambriel.
You can't see the screen.
Well, I'm sorry. Prioritize your mental health. Hold on, how'd that go away? So hold on, let me fix her there. She might not be. Hold on there. What happened? Oh, add the stage. I must have took that out by mistake. All right, so prioritize your mental health. So what's meant by that? So we just came from off of a major pandemic, the coronavirus. And it took a toll on the mental health of a lot of people, especially students, because during this time, students were confined to just being at home, where they was used to, being in the classroom with their friends and things like that. So some of the students might have had mental health issues.
You're muted.
Sorry. As far as being lonely, they might have felt depressed, things like that. So the coronavirus, excuse me, brought on a lot of mental health issues for students due to the fact that they wasn't engaging with other students. And also due to the fact that they was at home and it might have been things happening at the house that might not have been good for students at that time. So they might have been in a bad environment, or it might have been hard for them to study. It might have been, hard for them to focus on schoolwork because, it might have been like a bunch of little kids running around or, parents arguing. So that all those things contributed to, mental health. So let's go to the next one here. So here, the next one, number 10. What's number 10?
Be present.
All right, so number 10, be present. So what we mean by that? Obviously, you want to be in all your classrooms. Some students in a high school with their eyes already ready on college. And that's good because you definitely want to be focused on college when you're going into high school. Matter of fact, I think that when you're going into high school, you should already have a college like in mind. So my kids, all three of them went to Mastery. And the one thing that I noticed about the school is that certain classrooms, I guess, what would you say? They dedicate the classroom to a certain college. So, like Miss Phillips' classroom may be Temple. Mr. Forrest's classroom may be UCLA. So on and so forth. And it's already given middle schoolers and elementary school students the college advantage. So they might ask the teachers about college, like, hey, can you tell me about Temple? Can you tell me about Duke? Or what is Temple? What is Duke? So now, through those questions, the kids are now becoming intrigued about college. So it's putting it to their forefront, like their foremind, so they can think about like what's happening. So let's look at this again here. So even though you may be ready for college at this moment, make the most out of your 4 years in high school. So don't just try to rush right through it, because it's going to be a lot of work that you're going to have to do in high school, like maintaining your grades. I tell my kids that, when I was in high school, I had the mindset that if I got a C, that was passing. Also, what a C is just average. Nobody takes anything average. You go in a sneaker store and they show you 2 pair of sneaks. One sneaks is average, but they use somebody else had them. The other sneaks is excellent. They brand new. Nobody ever owned them. So that the kid is more likely going to want the sneaks that's brand new, where nobody, wanted nobody had these sneaks on at all. So we're going to go through, excuse me, these one more time. So I'm going to just have Ambrielle read those. Read the 10 things for preparing for high school, Ambrielle.
Okay, bear with me. My internet's kind of choppy today. But so number 1 is learn the school. Number 2 is challenge yourself. Number 3 is pick classes of interest. Number 4 is get organized. Number 5 is connect with upperclassmen. Number 6 is stay true to your values. Number 7 is connect with others through activities. Number 8 is build relationships with teachers and staff. Number 9 is prioritize your mental health. And number 10 is be present.
All right. Very good. Very good. So all this information is I obtained that from US News. So you can go on their website and type in preparing for high school, and you'll see the same information that I put up there, and it'll be just a little bit more. So the reason why we're giving you guys this information is because, for one, most students have no clue what the high school experience is going to be. Now, is that due to the counselor? Could be. Is that due to their advisor? Could be too. Is it due to the parents? That also could be a factor. But all 3 of those people that I mentioned should be responsible for preparing the student with that transition. So you're going from middle school to high school. So the student should have at least, I would say, 85% or 90% of the information that we just shared with you guys. If you don't, then it's going to be kind of like a tough struggle, because in high school, like I tell some students, you already should be thinking about, like with number 10 said, like, be present. Like, don't jump the gun, and you already preparing for college. However, it's kind of like a 2-edged sword. You don't want to be too prepared for college, but you do want to be prepared for college. So what I'm saying is, in your 9th grade year, you kind of getting acclimated to your high school environment. So you getting familiar with the teachers, the staff, your workload. So you kind of know, like, well, all right, I'm getting 9th grade down. I know how to balance out these classes. I'm taking advantage of my planner. So by 10th grade, excuse me, I got all the easy stuff situated in regards to high school. So now 10th grade, we're going to prepare for college. So here we go. So the information is, excuse me, gathered this information from St. Louis University. So we're going to start with number 1. And this is preparing for life after high school. So we're going to go right into that one. All right, hold on there. Ambrielle, read number 1.
Get ready to apply.
All right. So get ready to apply. You probably saying, what is that? What do you mean by get ready to apply? You getting ready to apply for college. However, the school is not. Some schools are not preparing you to apply for college until probably 11th grade, more likely 12th grade. By that time, you may be missing the most important aspect in preparing for college, and that's choosing your career. So you have to decide by 10th grade, you should know what career you want to be. Because, like I said, you're going to start getting ready to apply. Now, you can apply for college in 10th grade. Hold on, somebody got a question. I'm sorry. All right, man. Thank you, Mr. Poindexter. I appreciate that. We're going to put this up here. This is our first comment for the season. This season 3, Tour Urban Facts, in case y'all didn't know. So, you preparing your career. So if you want to be a nurse, you should know like what classes you should choose to help you along those lines. If you want to be an engineer, you should be taking a lot of math and science classes. If you're trying to be an artist, you should be in a program that's providing that type of information. If you want to be a lawyer, same thing. So let's pull this back up here. So, like I said, decide your career. And like I said, you should already have that by the time you come in the 9th grade. So now the next thing is that you want to keep a file of all the materials you want to need for future college applications. So that's going to include transcripts, a list of schools, and community activities. Community activities are very important. You definitely want to have that done. You know, the community activities. Also awards and honors. Keep your awards and honors together. I would say from middle school and also high school. Paid and volunteer work experience. And get a list of adults that you know are going to write you good recommendations. So now let's pause right here, because some of you probably think, well, I'm going to have my mom and dad write me a recommendation. No, you're not. Because that's going to be that may be too biased, because the parent is already going to be in favor of who you are as a person. So the school won't really look at that as a good recommendation. So you might want to get somebody like a teacher, somebody you volunteering for, you know, your neighbor, your gym coach, your dance instructor, whoever. If you know you work for a nonprofit, you know, ask somebody from there to write you a letter of recommendation. So let's go to the next one. So this is all the stuff you should be doing at 10th grade. This is 10th grade. So number 2, what's number 2, Ambrielle?
Meet your counselor.
All right, meet your counselor. So now, this is very important. I can't emphasize this. I run into too many students who have not done this. So have a meeting with your school counselor. If not, go to the guidance office. You know, maybe a guidance counselor. It depends on, like, you know, who's your what they have there. They got a guidance office, a guidance counselor or a counselor. Both of them is going to be the same thing, more likely. And set up a time to meet with them. The counselor should help you review your classes for high school that would lead to you meeting the qualifications of a college admissions requirement. So that's going to be important. So one more, again, let me put this back up here. Y'all don't really need to see us. The counselor is going to help you in high school to meet the requirements of the college board admissions requirements, for the college board admissions. So they're going to tell you, like, hey, like I just said, like if you're going for nursing, they might say, hey, you might want to get a lot of biology classes. If you're not going for nursing, they may say, hey, you might want to do, I'm doing that. You might want to do, physics and things like that. So it's going to be a lot of classes that's going to prepare you for your nursing track. So, stay in that counselor's office, ask all kinds of questions. And, and they should be like, if you tell them that, hey, I want to be a nurse, they should be asking you why. Because you don't want to be a nurse because Keisha being a nurse. And you don't want to be an engineer because Trevor being an engineer. You don't want to be a lawyer because John being a lawyer. Whatever you do, make sure it's because you want to do that. And also, you don't want to choose a career path because your parents said everybody in the family is in the medical field. Well, that's fine. You may not want to be in the medical field, though. You might want to do something like architecture, whatever like that. So whatever you choose for this career path, make sure it's something that you want to do. So we're going to go to the next bullet here. All right, Amber, I'll read the next one.
The next one says, treat yourself. Test yourself.
Right. So, all right, let me see. We're going to leave this screen up here. So, some colleges require an ACT, that's ACT or SAT scores as part of their application process. So, start getting ready to take these tests during your sophomore year by taking the practice test for both of these. So it's the ACT plan and the PSAT. Take time to practice it. I think a perfect score when I was in high school for the SAT was 1,600. I'm not sure what that number is now, and I sure enough don't know what the score is for the ACT. But you can find out. You can just look it up online. So you want to be at least within a 90% or 95% percentile of these scores to be considered for college. Now, this is very important for minority students. You want to know why? Because just a year ago, affirmative action in regards to college selection was removed. So some of the colleges had to pick the schools based on, if you was black. But now that's not a thing anymore. So these colleges don't need a certain number of students to be in the classroom if they black or not. They just choosing you based off of your academic performance. So if you got poor academic performance, then it may be harder for you to go any further. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, my host is having some technical difficulties, so we're going to just continue on without it. So, but she still should be, paying attention to the broadcast because this pertains to her as well. So let's go back to the big screen here. So test yourself. So you want to consider taking these tests more than once, like twice, or until you get the type of score. Now this is the practice test, not the actual test. So until you get the type of score that you'll be comfortable with. So don't be ashamed and be like, I'm tired of taking this test or whatever like that. Just take it until you're getting a good score to help you along with your college admissions. So we're going to go to the next one here. So number 4, start the college search. Now, there are a lot of colleges to choose from. Do you want to go to a big college? Do you want to go to a small college? Do you want to go to a vocational school? Do you want to go? You want to start off at a community college? There's a lot of options to choose from, so you have to choose wisely. This is why you need to know what kind of career you're going into. Now, if you choose something like you already got your heart set on being an electrical engineer, you may not have to attend a 4-year college. You may be able to get that done at a vocational school, but you have to do the research. So part of choosing these schools is doing the research. You can use online college finders to search for top schools or vocational schools. You can do that in your library. For college guidebooks, make 2 lists. One list should be the school of your interest, and the other list with attributes that are most important to you in a college or university. And then, you discuss that with your parents and the counselor of the school, because they're going to help you to make the the best choices in regards to that. So let's go to the next one here. Number 5. So use the summer. Your summertime is going to be the time that you're going to take advantage of, like getting some extra money, doing college tours, doing more research on schools you want to attend, things like that. So now you're in high school. So you can't use your summer to just lollygag and you playing with your friends and you done seen all the top movies that's out there. Like, this ain't the time for that. You in high school now, so you got to be focused. So you try to go on, like I said, college tours, college trips. You know what I mean? Like I said, you could probably find yourself a little job to help you finance yourself for the next high school year. Because, my kids really didn't work during high school. I'm not saying that your kids shouldn't. I'm just saying that's just what mine did. And if they did, they kind of worked from home, like remotely, like they did it online. You know what I mean? Because they was more focused on, studying. If you can work at McDonald's and, you still come home and can do all your schoolwork and you still getting straight A's, because that's the goal. I'm not about to say, do the best you can. You want straight A's, because if you're shooting for straight A's and you don't necessarily get that A, you're going to get the B. So if you like me when I was in high school and you're just shooting for a C and you don't get it, then you're going to get a D. And if they definitely ain't looking at no C's, they ain't even considering you with a D. So, shoot for straight A's. So let's go to the next one. All right, let's put the full screen on here. All right, let's see here. What's the next one? So look for scholarships. Now, all this information is still in 10th grade. So you can't really apply for college in 10th grade or 11th grade. Some schools will let you apply in 11th grade. Some schools may not. But you definitely can't do it in 10th grade. But that doesn't mean that you should not be looking for scholarships. So if I was you, in 10th grade, you should have a list of scholarships that you can apply for during your 11th and 12th grade year. So by the time you do get to 11th and 12th grade, you ain't got to do this search. You'll be ready. You'll be prepared. And you can just shoot right to the website of where these scholarships or grants are found at. So you definitely want to do that. So, and your scores from the PSATs and the X scores are going to help you to qualify for certain scholarships. And you might also want to consider taking a test prep course for the SAT and the ACT. Now, the guidance counselor can suggest other scholarships that fit your needs and free online search sites that'll help you find even more financial aid for college. So you got to stay in that counselor's office. So you can't, as soon as that bell ring, don't be fast to go home. And especially you guys, because I know you guys play like video games and John Madden and Call of Duty and things like that. So you can't go home, so you can hurry up and get online with your friends and play these games, because the games is over. I ain't saying completely, but in high school, in 10th grade, you focused. Like I said, if your career choice is engineer, then you planning this out. You're like, hey, I can't hang out with you guys. You gotta count me out. Like you was part of New Edition. you gotta count me out. Anyway, let's go to the next one. All right, number 7. Good grades in 11th grade. Man, this is so important. Let me put this up here for a second here. So, you need good grades in 11th grade. Before we get into that, let me tell you where should start at. 1st grade. If you were the type of student that had C's all the way up to 10th grade or high school, it's going to be a struggle or uphill battle. That's the same thing, for you to get good grades in 11th grade. Now, this is the reason why. Because you're not academically strong enough. Whatever you're doing, you're just cutting the mustard. Your greatest accomplishment in 10th grade is that you might have got a B on the test. You know what I mean? That's why I said shoot for A's. Now, if you're in 1st grade and you're a straight A student all the way up until high school, then getting straight A's in high school is not going to be that much of a challenge. Now, pay attention to what I said. I said it's not going to be that much of a challenge. It's still going to be a challenge because it's going to be different work. High school is definitely going to be different than middle school, especially if you go to an elite high school. So if you're going from somewhere like Beaver Middle School and you apply for Central or Masterman, that's a whole totally different ball game. Now, you still qualify if you were strong during middle school. But if you was weak in middle school, like I said, it's going to be an uphill battle. But you can do it. You just got to be focused. So you need good grades in 11th grade. This is the reason why. Excuse me. This is the year that the colleges and the universities are looked at the most. Even if you aren't thrilled with your academic record thus far, college admission officers give points for improvement, so keep it up. So like I said, if you haven't been doing that well, if you came in and you had a horrible 9th grade year, let's just say you averaged like a 2.6. I think that's like a C+. You have the whole scale of 10th grade to build your academic strength up. So by the time you get to 11th grade, you're strong. So you ain't struggling. You ain't, still trying to get the gist of algebra down, and you still trying to figure out the anatomy of a human body and things like that. Like, you locked in. And by the time you get to 11th grade, the work is just easy. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about, because I've seen people do this. And I ain't just talking about my own kids. So, number 8. You can tell I wasn't academically strong because I don't even know what coming out to 7. So hold on. Let's see, number 8. Letters of recommendation. Now, this is 12th grade. You're looking at this at 12th grade. towards the end of the year, ask adults, not just 12th grade, like I said, ask adults who you know best if they will be willing to write you a letter of recommendation as part of your college application packet. Do not ask your mom or dad to write you a college recommendation. I don't care if your mom and dad is the principal or the president of Villanova University. That is not going to work because they're going to see it as what is that called? Of favoritism is another word for it. I just can't think of it. They're going to look at it as favoritism. So of course, the parents is going to say this is a great student because that's your parent. So if I was you, I would eliminate family writing you a letter of recommendation altogether. Now, what you can do, if you know Miss Eleanor that knew you since you was a baby, and she the principal at Overbrook, but they don't know that. So you can ask her to write, baby, I'll do my best. I'll sure enough be happy to write you a letter of recommendation. So I would do that because they don't know Miss Eleanor. You know what I mean? And they won't see it as favoritism. But if it's your parents, and you might be saying, well, what if I got a different last name than your parents? Well, not unless they put a different last name on that college application. That's why you don't want to do that. So ask somebody that you are very familiar with that's going to write you the best letter of recommendation. Now, here's the other thing with that too. You can look for samples of letters of recommendation and you can send it to them so they ain't got to do a lot of work, but most people in those positions, they used to writing things like that. They already got a letter prepared already. So let's go to the next one. So number 9, apply for secondary education. This is where you're applying for college. This 12th grade. Now, let me before we get into this, I'm not quite sure when high schools say, hey, apply for college. As soon as you get in the 12th grade, start applying. Don't even wait. Because they may tell you something like towards the middle of the semester, towards the end. Just do it as soon as you get in 12th grade. Because if you're following the steps that we just gave you, you're going to be ready. They're like, hey, I seen Temple's nursing program or, they business program on, get my MBA from Temple. So I'm applying for there. You got your transcripts ready. You got your letters of recommendation. You ready. So you don't even have to be doing all this scrambling. And then even when you're talking to the counselor, the matter of fact, you ain't even got to meet with the counselor probably because you done already did this since 10th grade. You are like, hey, Mr. Johnson, I'm ready for college. What I got to do? And you in 10th grade doing this. They're like, hey, let's get this checklist. Now, if they say that this is too early to do this, insist on their help. Now, if they still say they ain't got time to do that, then you just come back to this video. Or you go find another counselor somewhere. Or just look it up online. You can just look up online how to prepare for college in high school. And it may say something like, during your 12th grade year, don't not read that because you're not in 12th grade. Still read that because eventually you're going to be in 12th grade. You're just getting ready. So like this is your packet and you got all your information. By the time you get to 12th grade, you say, hey, I'm ready. All you got to do is fill out the application for college, get all your materials together, and then you're good to go. So let's go back over this here. So now you're applying, and post-secondary education is this college, university, trade school, things of that nature. So now apply. As a general rule of thumb, plan on applying for 4 to 5 colleges and universities. The first one, dream or reach college. 3 realistic options and 1 safe school. Like the safe school is like without a shadow of a doubt, you're getting in Temple. So you just put that off to the side. So you had like 3 lists, like the schools you definitely like your dream school. You know what I mean? The second list is, the schools that you would take if the dream school don't take you. Like if you're applying for Howard and they say no, and you got a list of dream school, schools that you just okay with. Now, if the schools you okay with ain't going to take you, then you need the third list. And that's going to be the school, like without a shadow of a doubt, I know I'm getting in Temple. And you would only know that because you're doing all this preparation. So let's look at this here. So now, also, you want to talk to your parents and the counselor during this process of applying. Now, let me share some information with you, and I'm not trying to be funny. Your parents need to have some type of collegiate experience to help you through this process. Parents, if you're watching, you need to have some type of collegiate experience to help them through this process. If you do not, then refer them to somebody else. Tell them to talk to a teacher, talk to the guidance counselor. Don't feel humiliated because you ain't go to college. Everybody don't go. I ain't about to say it ain't for everybody, even though that's true. But if you ain't go, that's fine. You might have just had a high school diploma. You lucked up, got into the VA, and then all of a sudden you the assistant manager for the whole building. But that might not be everybody's option. You know what I mean? So if you ain't got collegiate experience, then say, hey, Miss Cheryl down the street, she got a doctor's degree. She may be better off to help you with this. And don't feel embarrassed about it because you didn't. This is about your kid now. So you want the best help that they can possibly get. So let me see here. Where we at? Apply. So number 10. Bam, financial aid. Now, this is one of the reasons that some kids do not apply for college because they say I can't afford it. The one thing about college is that I don't want to say it's a grace period to pay for the money, but if you're following these steps, excuse me, by the time you get to step number 10, you would have already did the FAFSA packet. Because in the process of looking for your scholarships, you're going to have to apply for FAFSA because FAFSA also offers grants and scholarships that you can apply for, depending on your academics. So let's look at the importance of this financial aid. So, financial aid. Fill out the free application for financial aid. That's FAFSA. Get information on the college financial aid and apply for scholarships. That's through the college. Now, if you can't afford school, and for some reason or another, you just don't want to do FAFSA. I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that, but you don't. You can go into the military. Now, here's the thing with the military. You might be saying, well, I don't want to go over there and get killed or whatever. I'm not about to lie and say that may not happen because anything is possible. You walk out the door after seeing this video and that could be your day. But it's not like a high rate of people when you go into the military, you dying or whatever like that. So that's not the case. It ain't like 10 people going to the military, then 7 out of the 10 died from war or whatever like that. So that's not the case at all. So you can join the military and you can choose jobs that wouldn't put you in harm's way of a wartime situation if it is a wartime situation. And right now, we're not in a wartime situation. Now, if you're watching this video 10 years from now, I'm not sure if it's going to be a wartime situation or not. But if you know your history, wartime situations are all sometimes like decades away, half a decade away, or whatever the situation is. But even if it is, like I said, you choose a job, you have to do research on this also, that would not put you in harm's way. So normally that's jobs like computers, you're doing programming, finance, you're doing administration. That's like processing the soldiers coming in and out. Healthcare, you know, I probably wouldn't choose healthcare because they got a lot of nurses that would be in like the field, or you know, if they go to war, they got to go out there too. Dentistry, you know, things like that. You choose something that, like I said, wouldn't put you in harm's way. So, the reason why I said the military is because they pay for everything for a school. So, if you are at the position where you're applying for college and it is not a wartime situation, I don't even care if it was a wartime situation. You just got to be, like I said, smart about the choices that you're making. They'll pay for everything. They'll pay for your pencils, your books, money for you to get there, you know, whatever you need pertaining to school, the military got you. How I know? Because I did that. Now, the other thing with the financial aid, one question is, when is the bill due? Excuse me. In a traditional college, the bill is due prior to the semester. Now, if you already did financial aid, that's processing. So they see now that your financial aid is processing, so they're going to probably, you know, give you some leeway or whatever like that. So if you done already started the classes, you know, you may have until the end of the semester, you know, to get your bill paid. But by this particular point, if you follow these steps, you should have your financial aid situated because you started in 10th grade. You started this whole process in 10th grade. So you have like a better understanding of what to expect and what not to expect by the time you get to 12th grade and you about to graduate. So you may have to go on the financial aid plan, a payment plan. So, you know, that's all depending on the school. You know, if you go to community college, you go to a trade school, whatever. Whatever school you decide on, you have to talk to that school's financial aid office. You can't talk to the high school's high schools don't have financial aid office, but the counselor at your high school is not going to help you with the financial aid in regards to how the school wants their money. They'll just tell you probably the same thing I'm telling you, talk to the financial aid office. So you want to do that. But don't let the bill scare you from going to college. And I'm not saying like they're going to let you go for free, but it ain't like you going to McDonald's and you asking for a number 10 and it's fair exchange. They want $10 and you getting a number 2, or you don't get it if you ain't got $10. It don't necessarily work like that in some institutions, but you won't find out until you inquire from the school. So it's so many students out there that without these tips that we shown, and I'm gonna try to go over both of them again. So let's just go over the ones for after high school. Before I start, do not do any of these after graduation. Do not start this process after graduation. By that time, it's going to be a little harder. Because for one, you already done graduated, and all the time I said you need to be spending with the counselor, that's out the window because you ain't even a part of the school no more. And it wouldn't make no sense to wait till the next school semester to talk to the counselor because now you're missing time for college. So let's just go over this. Get ready to apply. So, you know, you got to obviously choose the school. You should know a career path, you know, at this particular point. Meet the counselor. As soon as you get into high school, besides meeting your advisor, you want to know who your counselor is. In some schools, they may have different counselors depending on your last name. Test yourself. Excuse me. Don't just choose easy subjects in high school. Start the college search. You want to start the search for the school that's best fitting for you. Your summer should be the time where you're visiting colleges, you're doing college tours. You might get a little extra job to help you save up some money for the next school year. Look for scholarships. You're doing all this stuff in 10th grade. So, like I said, you can't apply for scholarships in 10th grade, but you can apply some in 11th, definitely in 12th. But if you already got a list, you ain't got to look again. Number 7, good grades in 11th grade and through high school. But like I said, you should already be getting good grades from kindergarten. But like that's not everybody's story. So if you get into high school, make sure that you shooting for straight A's. And don't think that to be threatening. Like, I can't get straight A's. You don't know what you can do. If you work hard enough, you probably can get above A. Ain't nothing above A, but I'm being sarcastic. Letters of recommendation. Do not ask your parents for this. You want to ask professionals outside of your family to give you a good letter of recommendation. So apply for post-secondary education. Post-secondary education is colleges, universities, vocational schools, trade schools, things of that nature. This is when you're going to apply for post-secondary education. This is 12th grade. At this point, you are in 12th grade. Financial aid, we just went over that. You contact the school. You know, you fill out your FAFSA and everything like that. It is one program that the students use now that they share that information with different universities and things like that. So you don't have to like keep doing it for different schools or whatever like that there. So you just gotta be on your your P's and Q's in high school. You know, I'm not gonna say playtime is over, but you can't be playing all the time. This is very serious. And it's too many kids not going to college because they didn't just do these simple steps that we gave you. And I care about you guys. I love y'all. Yeah, I love y'all like y'all my own kids, and some of y'all and most of y'all, I don't even know. But that's not important. What's important is that I want to give you this information to help you to succeed. So, and you go as far as you can with college. You want to be a doctor, go for that. And don't worry about the time. Don't be like, oh man, a doctor like almost 10 years. Like by the time you get out of high school, you like 18, 19. You know what I mean? So 10 years, you're 29. You know how much money doctors make? $250,000 a year. Now, if you want to just take the easy route out and, you know, go for medical assistants don't make that. So, you know, you do the math. But that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in to our first episode of season 3 of Urban Facts. I didn't think it would make it this long, but thank God it did. See you guys next Thursday. We will have a guest, and we'll see you then. God bless and good night.